These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Yada. Yada says, I will say the reasons we should see this finally is the implementation are in full mode. The money from the budget will cover the employees' salaries, activate the contracts to improve their national airport, and complete the funding to have their rail line active with Iran. Let's not forget the French 28 billion contract to build their electric plant, all awaiting the reissued dinar. All right, Mountain Goat article quote, Iraq is advancing globally and settling into the Arab world with the largest economy in the world in 2023. Iraq ranked 49th in the world's largest economies for the year 2023 after it was ranked 52nd last year within a list of 190 countries, according to a report by the International Monetary Fund. All right, Militiaman says the news outlets and the media doesn't quite paint the picture in a cut and dry manner. That's not their job, is to babysit us. It's not their job to tell you every specific thing that they're going to do, how they're going to do it, what the exchange rate is, what the date is. Anybody that thinks that is ever going to be possible, I'm not sure you should be in this investment. The fact remains we all have curiosity, so fair enough. We're all curious to what that is, and we're going to have to wait to find out. All right, Sampson article quote, economists, the budget was not implemented even 90 days after its approval. Quote, it was not implemented due to the presence of thieves and corrupt people, stressing the necessity of changing disbursement methods to keep the funds of the tripartite budget from the hands of corrupt officials, unquote. Frank 26 question, what percentage rate should I look for when I exchange? Frank says 1%, 2%, 3%, I think is more than fair, especially if you're dealing with high million numbers. Anything past that gets a little gluttonous. Frank says, me personally, my percent for exchanging will be 0. You know how many dinars I'll be taking to the bank? Frank says, you're going to charge me to deposit my money into your bank? Bye-bye. Of course, we can work something out. Now do it. It bothers me that this is what's going to happen. Banks will take advantage of you. All right, Sandy Ingram says, I was to hire an individual who could be bonded, who speaks both English and Arabic, who could open a brokerage account on the Iraqi stock market and an Iraqi bank account. We asked this person to contact us using the channel's Facebook page. There were several responses, but before conversations could begin, the Facebook account was disabled. No explanation, no reason. These actions led me to believe someone in a high place did not want us to bring over $10 million investment in or the Iraqi stock market into play. All right, Mark Xavier PDK says, we are so close, coming right from Sadani. It's time to address the exchange rate. Mark Z says, they have been in many meetings. We've had people from Iraq for the last few weeks. Folks from our U.S. Fed Reserve and Treasury have been over there. I totally agree that it is done. We are just waiting for some reason, waiting for when that trigger is flipped. Mark Z says, my Iraqi contacts believe it will be here from yesterday up until the 20th, tops. Most of my sources over here believe this is it. Don't be upset if it's not quite that quick, as there are a lot of moving pieces behind the curtain. All right, Claire article quote, touches $100. Economists expects oil prices to continue to rise, expecting the price of a barrel to reach 100 during the remainder of 2023. All right, Nader from the Mideast says, I told you before, the CBI has nothing to do with it. CBI can change the rate to 1160, 1134, but that's the maximum due. Who's going to put it back? The United States government. All right, Mark Z via PDK says, we've been seeing all kinds of bank rates on currency calculators. My bankers believe they're priming the pump for the system and punching in different values to test things. I really think this may be the last week we have to deal with all of this. All right, Baby's mom says we should know by 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time if CBI changes the rate, because after 1 a.m., which is 8 a.m. Iraq time, their banks open, and they've always wanted to do it before their banks open. Frank 26 says corruption is being squashed. And lastly, Mark Z via PDK question, why does the U.S. have any say in Iraq's revaluation? Mark Z's answer is because of the Iraqi war and the rebuild Iraq money and part of the surrender agreement with Saddam Hussein when they pulled out of Kuwait. This is it in a nutshell. So the U.S. can recoup the cost of the war. Question, will the U.S. get in the way of the RV again? Mark Z says, I can tell you they are caving and cannot get in the way now.